the number one cure to emotional pain is emotional mastery. Now, emotional mastery is actually emotional alchemy. We have been accustomed to looking outside to the external world of ourselves for guidance, for reassurance, ultimately for authorization and authority, validation, approval, comfort, love, attention, support, stability, nurture, so on. But this only leads to expectations and to demands, to letdowns and disappointments, to blaming and complaining and drama and pain and suffering, because the external world will never be able to give us what we truly need. Now, you are entering a new phase where the challenge is to receive your love and your support and your guidance from within. It's time to find your inner center. We are so disconnected from our inner worlds, our emotional worlds, this rich, sensual realm that contains the truth, and our true essence. Our inner world is like the lost city of Atlantis, the seat of your personal power, truth, and essence, your inner authority. So I always ask, who sits on your throne, your inner throne? The purpose of alchemy is to transform one substance into another. It does this by burning off the junk and the waste or the negativity of the substance so that the pure substance remains or is created. The art of alchemy is simply changing one form into another. Now, most people, they think of alchemy as this medieval obsession for changing lead into gold. And while this is one form of alchemy, anything that causes a change in form is alchemy as well. Turning water into steam is alchemy. Changing a dry tea bag into tea is also alchemy. Now, with the internal alchemies, the emotional alchemies, the container are a lot more abstract, as are the goals. The purpose of internal alchemy is to change your consciousness, to accelerate your own personal evolution, your growth. There's a basic concept in all forms of internal alchemy, which can be stated very simply. Energy follows awareness, or also known as where attention goes, energy flows. The energy of your attention follows where you put your awareness. Now, if you pay attention to what you're hearing right now, the words that will make an impression on your mind. Now, if you pay attention to a conversation that's happening in another room, or if you're distracted by something else, the words that I'm saying, they won't impress on your mind. That conversation will. Now, the alchemical container of inner alchemy is your own awareness. The substance that you're transforming is your pain, your suffering, your trauma, your fears, your beliefs, so on. Now, a meditation practice, for example, is a really good way of increasing your level of awareness, the container, because when your mind wanders off, you lose that container for the alchemical reaction. So an easy analogy is that of turning hot water into steam. Whenever the mind wanders, it's like taking that kettle off the stove. The art of internal alchemy is then to hold your pain and your awareness, your energy, together long enough for a transformation, an alchemical reaction to occur, to sit with the pain long enough. We're not trained to pay attention to these subtle energies, the more subtle energies beyond the physical body, anything that can't be seen or measured or even easily understood or explained. We just don't really learn to pay attention to it, the energy in things or emotions and our thoughts. They're just too abstract and fleeting for most people to actually sit down with them and analyze them. So the more that you focus on your inner world and your inner work, the greater results you will see. Ideally, you will put your awareness and therefore your energy into your inner work and your transformation every single day. The goal of the alchemist is to purify matter and turn it into this higher form by burning it. My job is to create the container where you feel safe to release, to surrender, to go inward, and to put your attention on yourself and your inner world. fulfillment, love, joy. They're made so much easier if you let go of the heaviness and the fear and the anger and the bitterness and the hatred and the suffering that weighs you down. If you do that, you will find that your consciousness will change a lot more quickly and easily from day to day, just automatically leaving all that heaviness behind. Emotional alchemy, it's the process by which people, they improve their emotional well-being, their mind, their body, and their soul. Fear, old pain, victim mentality, addictions, and so on, they keep us feeling separate and detached. Alchemy allows us to remember. Alchemy activates aspects of ourselves that are not being completely lived out, and it continuously allows us to gain new perspectives. It allows us to learn from our lessons and to take on another point of view, to consider things from another perspective that we previously hadn't been able to see. Alchemy is the harmony of our body, of our mind, of our soul. It's coming to terms with ourselves and with the world around us. At the core of your inner world, you find who you really are, your true being. And when you live fully as yourself, it leads to this inner and outer peace and fulfillment, and to ultimately living your true purpose. Alchemy is the marriage of fire and water, but within. It's reconciling your pain and being able to own your desires all at the same time. It's the reunification of the things that have been dissolved, and then on a new level, transmuting your pain into gold. The ashes from which the phoenix will rise. It is taking that pain, the hurt, the ugly, and turning it into your strength and to your growth. The formula for a continued life is death. It's the putrefaction. So it's the willingness to allow the parts of you that no longer serve you to die, and to use that humus of the old to rebuild yourself, the mud and fertile topsoil where life grows. Alchemy is the foundation of spiritual development. So victim mentality becomes claiming your power. Your pain and your suffering becomes your foundation. Your knowing becomes your bedrock. Addiction becomes freedom. Ego becomes awareness. What has to be peeled off for your truth to emerge? What has to be burned off to release those chains that keep you bound? What's ready to be shifted and to be transformed? Ask yourself. For you to be able to claim your true power, to remember and to live as your true divinity. It's up to you how much you're willing to dissolve. But alchemy is also a continuous process. You will continue this journey with these tools for the rest of your life. Once you start this work, you continue. Initiation, to be an initiate, refers to someone who has decided to leave behind the pettiness and the drama of life, and to do the inner work of raising their consciousness, their awareness. Because the true essence of initiation means to mark a threshold. You can initiate yourself when you decide to cross from living this small little life, which is run by your ego, into a more sacred life that is based on truth and your soul's voice. Self-initiation is an act of intention and personal and spiritual will, really. My work is about a reintroduction to yourself, beyond your beliefs and your limitations, beyond what the world and what others have told you that you are or are not. I have chosen to call my membership program, Initiation, the Art of Emotional Alchemy, precisely because initiation is the work that it takes for you to reclaim your inner throne, to rediscover your personal power, your truth, and your essence. It's about a homecoming. It's a process of maturation, of radical self responsibility, initiation into the ancient and sacred art of emotional alchemy and mastery. And the journey, it starts now, if you're ready. Subscribe below, send me a message in the links, or set up a free connection call with me to hear more about this work.